Oh. Okay, welcome everybody. Saturday, November 10th, team call. So we have one thing I want to kind of review, which is GTC. So get registered, and they're doing it a little differently this year where there's don't forget to choose this. I don't even know if they'll let you register if you don't select it, but there's an all consultant training and there's 2 different times. So depending on when your flight gets in, you can choose whether you want to do an earlier or a late. So, or if you're coming with a couple people, and you want to be at the same training, just kind of get together and you can choose that consultant training. But beyond that, I think there's the payment plan, I think is like 90 now and 90 later for early bird, something like that. They're just making it super, super reasonable. And then just again to highlight that what we do is we stay at the Hilton Elara, and I think Hannah posted this on the last Zoom, that it's easily 4 people in a room. And I think it's the 1-bedroom suite. And so then it's just really easy. We have really easy, like 10-minute walk to and from everything that is Arbonne related for registration and things like that. And we'll talk more when we get closer to it, kind of what the details are. But basically just get registered. Get registered for it. It's a game changer. It's a game changer for mindset and belief and your business and the stats of your paycheck. People before they go to GTC and after they go to GTC, just what it does for their business is huge. So we'll probably highlight that every single call from here on out. The other thing I wanted to talk about is we're going to be doing, or organizing it right now, an Instagram training. So for folks to be able to start feeling more comfortable using it, and then really how to use it so you're specifically how to use it for business, because I think a lot of us use it for fun and we post things about what we're doing with Arbonne and incorporating it into our lifestyle, but having a training on but how do you use it to engage people in wanting to hear more about our business, or engaging people in how do you actually close a sale using Instagram, things like that. So there's going to be a poll or like a question, a place to enter questions that you have on the Changing Lives Facebook group. So that should be happening super soon. And so if there are things that you're specifically wanting to know, if there's things like, where do you get the templates for things? How often do you post? How do you have followers? How do you respond when people are following? Whatever, like any questions that you have about Instagram and using it for Arbonne, like should I have a separate Instagram account? How do I do that? So ask those questions, and we'll post here when that spot is open for you to post those questions. But then we're going to take that and then make it into a Zoom. We'll probably have a few of the hotshot Instagrammers tag team it, and then we'll record it so that we've got it for our new folks when they start. And then the other thing that we're going to be rolling out early next week, it's called Healthy Through the Holidays. So some of you guys who were here last year, what we did, it's a really great way for people who maybe they're just not ready to do the 30-day, or it seems kind of overwhelming to do it in December, or maybe they are like, you know what, I want to do November, I want to do something for November and December, but I don't want to do the 30 days both months. We're going to be rolling this out again. It was it's basically like 5 habits a day, like 5 habits of incorporating our products too, but it's also like getting in 10 minutes of activity, eating some vegetables, staying hydrated. So the idea for people is like, how about you have some kind of an anchor. You have an anchor through the holiday season where it's not kind of like, well, I'm not doing the 30 days, so it's a free for all. And then you feel like crap, come January 1st. And so it's a way for people to feel like, you know what, I'm going to do the things I want to do. I'm going to have the pie, or I'm going to go, for cocktails with my friends. But then I also know that I'm going to be feeling better kind of baseline because I'm staying hydrated, because I am, in a group where there's accountability, because I am eating my vegetables, because I'm taking my Digestion Plus, So we're going to have like a suggested order around that. And it's going to include protein, 1 bag of protein, a box of Fizz, Digestion Plus, and a box of tea. And so that is roughly $160 for a preferred client out the door. But then the fun thing is we're going to start it November 26th is when it actually starts. So the day, the Monday after Thanksgiving, and then we're going to run it through New Year's Eve. So it's kind of like a 5-week, and we're going to have one admin each week kind of do it. And there's going to be recipes on it. There's going to be kind of, tips for things, something every day. There's going to be some giveaways for people in the group. And it's going to be we're in all success line. And so it's going to be kind of, Holly's team down. So you'll see it on Changing Lives. You'll see it on our page. So I'm going to post we're having a few of the documents updated from last year. So in the meantime, I'll post one image that you can use now to kind of get the word out. And I just went over the dates from last year and just added the 26th through the 31st on it. But really just the idea of people getting a flavor of the 30-day, and then maybe the idea then is, okay, January 1st, I'm ready to do, I really want to do it. I want to do the 30-day, but I back up. Okay. So the cool thing about it is that, getting people started on, so it's a 150 order, or 150, it's about 160. So 150 plus order. So what that does, they get free shipping with that. It's about $200 of QV. I think it's 203. But then they're probably going to run out of some things, in December. So they're going to be able to then do another 150 and get a free gift with that. So they'll be kind of set up for reordering for December. So again, it's called Healthy Through the Holidays. So look for that. But I think that's going to be a really great way for us to have kind of a gateway into the 30-day for people for January. If people are just, kind of nope, I can't do that thing this right now because there's just too much going on. So giving them an option to do something kind of, something that's going to be helping them feel better, but not a full-blown set them up for not failure, but you know what I mean, setting them up for feeling like they didn't follow it if they did the 30-day. So is there anything that you guys, I want to open this up a little bit too, are there things that you are wanting to just chat about, or questions that you have? This is can be a really great format for that, outside of just kind of me talking at you. I would love if there are folks who've got some things that are kind of on their mind with just how November's going, what they're excited about, anything that they're experiencing that they're wanting some support around. Anyone?
One thing, I don't know if anyone else has had this, but 2 of the RE9 items are back ordered. So anyone who bought the RE9 last minute in October, one of my clients got hers 2 days ago, and there's 2 things, but I think they're only back ordered till Tuesday. So if anyone gets that, heads up.
Okay, that's good to know. And that was just the regular RE9. It wasn't the the advanced, the lifting and contouring. It was just the regular.
I think there was one of the lifting items on there too, but I just checked for the ones, one of my clients got the RE9 October deal, with just the regular. I think the extra moisture is back ordered too, but she didn't have.
Gotcha.
So
okay,
just double check the.
Yeah, at least it's the toner and the day cream, and then I saw something about the brightening, but lifting and contouring is off until end of November, I think.
The serum is on back order too.
The serum?
The serum is on back order too. This is Jess.
Oh, hi, Jess. Okay. That's good to know for people, just so that we can know that in advance. And then I think Molly had mentioned the Clear Future, that they're having supplier issues because of the hurricane. And so, and I think last time I looked, was it mid-November or something like that they're back in stock?
It said it was going to come back in around January. There's still are a couple things available on it. You just can't order the set as a whole. So I know I just ordered one off the Clear Future. There's a mask. So I ordered that to try it out, and it's on its way. But the whole set, I think there's a specific couple of products in there that require ingredients that they can't get.
Okay.
They also just moved that up. It's now again November, early December too. So
okay.
Just
So that's a good call. Like, and you guys, if you don't know where to check for the back order stuff, you just go to the source and scroll all the way down, and it'll have a list of kind of quick links, you know, like just really good resources. And one of them is like the back order list that you can just click on, and it shows, you know, just look for the US in there, and it'll have, you know, what it is, and then when it's supposed to be back in stock. So that's it's a good resource to just kind of keep your eyes peeled on other stuff.
I just was going to piggyback off that. I just learned this week about the backorder list because one of my hosts was missing one of the lip duos in her order. And that's happened in the past where like one thing is missing from an order and I just call and they're like, oh, sorry, we'll send you it. Like super easy. But I didn't even think to like look on the list, and she threw away her receipt that was in the box. And so I went through the hassle of calling customer service and waiting and whatever. And they were like, did you check the list? I'm like, so yeah. So if something's missing, definitely check the list first just to save you the phone call.
Yeah. Good call. Absolutely.
Yeah. And on that packing list, it'll be like under like the B-O if it's back ordered, if they didn't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lisa, yes. Hannah also asked me to share a little bit about my virtual event that I did a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is a good time.
Totally.
Okay, cool. So I just wanted to share a little bit about this virtual event that I did and just kind of some of the things that I learned. And I'm also super interested to hear about how other people are doing virtual events and if you're having success with those and things that you guys have learned. So the one that I did was actually a previous host of mine back in Minneapolis, and the first in-person event that I did for her, she like totally maxed out on her host rewards. Like she's just like the most amazing host, and she needs to do this business, but she just isn't ready yet. But she was starting to run out of things, and so I told her, I'm like, hey, you know, I'm in California now, but let's still do an event. And so this one was a little bit different than doing it just online and having everybody join virtually. She actually did an in-person event, and I, as the, you know, second host or whatever, MC, whatever you want to call me, joined in virtually. So everybody was physically there, just like a normal group event. And so it was a lot of fun. I joined in on Zoom, and the biggest things were hostess coaching, and just getting prepared ahead of time so that the host feels not overwhelmed, because she is stepping in and doing some of the things that you would do as the consultant, you know, handing out samples and having all the washcloths and everything ready. So just a few things that I wanted to show you that I did to make my life easier. Ahead of time, you guys know, like the all of your closing documents and everything that you usually do for group events, right? So I made these packets for each guest I had the guest RSVP ahead of time, like a week ahead of time, so that I had enough time to send everything to my host. So each guest had a packet. So I don't know if you guys have seen this certified Arbonne Clean document, but I really, really love it. And everything's double-sided. So I have the order form. I made a document for it was in October, so all the October deals with the RE9 and everything, the PC sign up, preferred client benefits at a glance, the ASVPs, free gift list, and of course is Arbonne for you. So each guest got this stapled packet, and then I sent like the RE9 sample kits and then Genius pads, and I sent the host a fizz and a protein. So anyways, she had everything that she needed. So it went really well, but I would say some things that I learned. First of all, this would be much more difficult doing with a new host. It's totally possible, but definitely requires some more coaching, because if they haven't experienced a group event before, they might not fully understand the flow of things. And yeah, I definitely lucked out in that my host like already was like on top of it, knew what to do, texted all of her guests ahead of time, just was super prepared. So I didn't have to do as much host coaching with her as I would with someone that maybe is new. But I think the biggest challenge was closing out. And when you're not there in person, it's more difficult to get that one-on-one connection with each of the guests and asking how their experience was and helping them close out. But what I had my host do was put the laptop on like on her kitchen table, like where I would usually go to close out. And I told her to send me the first person that was already ready and had questions and wanted to put in their order. So she sent that person, and the other guests kind of followed. But again, it was also a lot of returning guests too that had been to her previous event. So I already had met them before and had that rapport established and things like that. And there were new guests too, but I would say it's much easier for people to slip out. And not that, I'm trying to like catch them by any means, but wanting that personal connection with each guest. So anyways, if you guys have any other questions, let me know. It was super fun. And one piece of feedback that my host gave me is that she would have liked to figured out how to hook up the laptop, like the Zoom video or whatever, to the television, so that it was bigger. I felt like I was more in the room. With the laptop, she said it worked fine, and was asking questions. People were engaging and responding and stuff like that. But she would have liked to see me a little bit bigger than on like the laptop screen. But
that'd be really easy to do with either a Chromecast or an HDMI cord.
Yeah,
they have Zoom on a browser, so it'd be super easy.
Yeah, totally. HDMI would be like, yeah. I'm not super familiar with the Chromecast, but
or like a
technology these days. Why
the Apple TV, you can do it like that way too. That's one way to screen share. You can like, if they've got an Apple TV, if they
does anybody have any questions? Oh yeah. Sorry, you're breaking up.
Me?
Yeah.
I know this.
Okay.
It's like now. I'm good now?
Yeah.
Okay. I know. It's like a 1950 Rambler with plaster walls. It's like I don't know what you call it, like a safe, what are those things called? Like a bomb shelter. That's what it is. I love that, Rochelle. And I did that. I did it something really similar to that, but I did it on, I did a live. So I created a Facebook group for the event, and then I just did a live. And then, had people comment and things like that, like through the group, and like made an incentive for it too. Like, I think it was like, oh, every time I take a sip of my wine or something like that, like, you comment on something and you'll be entered for, a drawing. We had like several ways that people could engage that way. One thing too with that, I know can be helpful is like setting, and you did that with having the documents, but like setting people up, like opening with the close, opening with like, okay guys, so before we get started, here's what's totally going to happen. You're going to find yourself in one of three spots. You're either going to want to get a few products. You're going to want a deeper discount as a preferred client, or you're going to want to host something of your own. And, or you're going to want to do what I'm doing. And so kind of like letting them know. So they know, because I think sometimes the biggest reason people don't do anything is because they don't know what to do. A confused mind says no or does nothing. And so the more that we can just know that they're looking to us as the expert and they're looking for us for recommendations, the easier it's going to be for them to, I've found that before, like sometimes I'll like, people will be looking at them like, oh, I didn't even hand out an order form, or, oh, I forgot to give them a pen. And it's like, that's all they needed. You know what I mean? I was like, why aren't they ordering it? What are they doing? I'm like, oh, cause I didn't give them an order form. So I think sometimes it's that simple of just like directing them to like, okay, so here's what we're going to do. This was in a SoundCloud that was Val Edwards a while back. And what she did, and this could be for a virtual event or for an in-person event, where she basically said, okay, so here's what's going to happen next. We're going to take the next 10 to 15 minutes. You are going to choose some things that you want to get started with tonight. And then, and you could even have like with virtual, have people come to the computer, like come to the computer and be like, hey, let's chat. And the first 2 people who do that, I've got a little something for you. And so you can even like mail in advance to your host, mail like some mascara samples to her or whatever, or little goodie bags, and be like, hey guys, so what Rochelle's talking about, they're right here. So the first 2 people who are like ready to roll, come over this way. And it just kind of, then people know what to do. Once they see, we're such like group think, it's like, okay, once one person starts it, then other people, follow it. So
totally,
that's been helpful with getting people moving. I think one thing too that I've learned over the last few months with events is just being really protective of the start time. And, making sure, because if an event starts at 6:30, like making sure you're really getting down to business by like 6:45, 7:00. Because sometimes what can happen is then the later it gets pushed, then people are like, oh, I gotta go. And so, not being like, give yourself permission to like be a boss in that situation. Just reading something from Jess. Okay. All right. I love that you did that though. I love that there's so many different ways that we can, do this business. So that's a great, and I think just getting creative, getting really creative with in this time of year, especially, is, people want to get together. I think people want to get together and like, hang out, and it doesn't take a lot of people either. I mean, it can be, just 2-3 people getting together, and it totally makes it worth it. This is on, okay. So Jess, I'll kind of like sum it up a little bit. So tips about like work family balance, or just like work, like work. Somebody the other day said, yeah, sure, I'd love to hear more about your job. I'm like, well, my job is taking care of my kids. My business is Arma. But it's tricky because I think those of you who are new, or if you're going for promotion, it is out of balance. It just is. And it's that idea that nothing changes if nothing changes. And knowing that going for district manager, going for, finishing it out, you're just focused. You're focused, and it's tricky that if you don't drive it, it won't drive itself. And there does come a point where you can take your foot off the gas a little bit. And so it's really, I think the biggest thing about that is just getting everyone on board, regardless, like if that's like, a roommate or a family or a boyfriend or a husband or, whatever, getting people on board and being like, hey, I might be a little scattered, I might be a little kind of crazy here and there. I just want you to know, that this is what's going on, or I might be less available, or I might be on my phone a lot more, or whatever. I think, and then onboarding them with that, like, here's the goal, here's what I'm going for, and here's how it's going to positively impact everyone. So can we hang together in the crazy? The other thing that I found to be super helpful with that is planning out as much as possible the night before. I just feel like the more you can write out, and it doesn't take that long, if you can just I like to write out, like, who am I asking for hosting events? Who am I asking to take a look at my business, and who do I need to follow up with? And I just have that every day, like, planned out, because I have an old school planner. I'm a paper planner girl. And then I've just got that on, like, Monday, November 12th, here's what I have to do. And so, because then what you can do when you have those moments, you can be working really smart and not feel like you're working constantly. because you get a minute and you're like, oh, who did I have to follow up with? Oh, that's right. Okay. And what was I following up on? Oh, and where's her number? And what was it about? You just have it. If you just have it, then it's like, okay, great. Check. So that can, I think just being efficient, like that helps with being efficient. So if that makes sense at all, really that writing it out before, Jess, if that helps to just let me know. But there really isn't right now. I think work-life balance out the window when you're going for something, and to just own it and be okay with it. That's just how it's going to be. So I know it's not a super fun message, but it's really fun to get to the spot where you're trying to get. Like, that's the fun part. And I know a lot of you guys, we all are going for stuff this month. So, and this can be a tricky time too, because it's like, okay, we're 10 days in, like, 30, just don't let that get in your head. You can change your business on a dime. You can change your business in 5 minutes. You can change your calendar in an hour. Like, you really can. If you focus on changing what you have, you can do it in an hour if you're just really focused on putting things in. And I know this sounds kind of hokey sometimes, but you hear it, get it in your head. Like, before you're making these calls, like, change your energy to like, people want to hear from me. People want to get their friends together and experience this. People are going to say yes to me. People are going to say yes. They want this to happen. Like, don't even for a second let in your head, like, oh, they're probably going to say no anyway, or it's probably going to cancel. And don't do it. Like, it's amazing how that energy, like, get excited. If you've got something, like, be super excited about it, and be really protective of it. If you've got events on your calendar, protect them. That means reaching out a few days before, reaching out the day of, like, super looking forward to coffee tomorrow. Can't wait. My favorite is, the XYZ that they have there. And because the more you engage in that, the less likely people are going to be to bail, because they're going to be like, yep, okay, she's looking forward to it, I gotta go. And same with events. Like, I am so excited for your event on Saturday. Oh my gosh, and mailing them or bringing them, like, that either the full size set or that trial, like the one in the green thing, so that they can talk about what they're going to be experiencing, if that makes sense. Like, your host, this is really getting your host, like Rochelle said, really host coaching, getting them on board, because that's what people are going to care about. They're not going to care as much what I have to say. They're going to care what their friend is using and talking about. So the more that you can get them excited about it, the better. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
This is Lauren. Just on that note, while you're talking, so I don't forget, would it be like just because your mind was going right where my question was going?
Sure.
Would it be like out of the question to have your host just say, like, this is why I wanted to host this. This is why I wanted to share, instead, like, because you're far away, right? This is why I said yes to hosting virtually. This is why I, because I love this so much. And
absolutely,
I've really seen change, whatever their why, like, have them find their why. Why did you say yes? Because then people can be engaged and be like, oh, she was really excited about it. Oh, that sounds cool. Like, I can relate to that. Would that be something that would, like, to call on the host and just ask them, like, a few days ahead, hey, I'm gonna, not so that I call on you ahead of time or catch you off guard, would you mind sharing why with everyone?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think the more you can onboard your host and have them be excited to share, that's going to be really valuable to their guests, for sure. Yeah, and just prepare them to, hey, I'm going to put you on the spot, so.
Right, because I think then, it helps with when come closing time, people are like, yeah, I could totally get on board with that. Like, if she loves the products this much, like, I think it would help with the close, right? People, for sure. The host was excited, so kind of be like the mouth of Rochelle if she was there or if we were there.
Yeah, and even mentioning her favorite products.
Yeah,
I had her mention her favorite products at the end too, because all the guests are like, "Oh, what do you use? What do you,
For sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they all want to know that. It's crazy. Again, just that group think. It's probably not even the right word for it, but just like, we want to do, it's just recommendation, we want to do what our people are doing. And so that goes a long way. Awesome. All right, anything else, guys? I'm going to wrap it up. We're getting about a half hour-ish here, so we'll wrap it up. But thank you, Rochelle, for sharing. That's so awesome. And so I would encourage folks, like a little challenge out. And I'm going to challenge you to write down tonight what you have to do for tomorrow, so you can be efficient with that. I'm also going to challenge you to book a virtual event, myself included, for November. And I think it would be a good idea I think Monday, let's do like a 10 Ask Monday, like a 10 Ask challenge, like get the week started on the right foot. So a 10 Ask challenge, and that can be a combo ask, asking for a group event, asking for a virtual event, asking people to come to the DA, asking people to get on our virtual DAs, asking people to meet in person, asking for a third party, like basically anything that's going to get them closer to hearing the full Arbonne story. That's an ask. So 10 Ask Monday. Got it? All right. You guys are amazing. And feel better, Hannah. So bummed. She was supposed to get her car today. She's supposed to pick it up at noon today, but she's too sick. What in the world? Poor thing. So she'll have it Monday. She'll have it Monday for the DA. So that's good. All right, team, rock and roll, and look for the Happy Through the Holidays post, and look for the question.
Question.
Yes, ma'am. What's that?
Super quick last question.
Yeah.
Do we know when Hannah's party will be yet?
Not for sure, but I'm thinking it's the same weekend that Jerry's going to be here. Jerry Rosenthal is doing a training the 18th, 19th of January. So
okay, cool.
His summit.
Awesome. I'm really hoping maybe I can fly out.
Yeah. Change that. I will fly out and be there.
I will fly out and be there.
There you go. Much better. All right. You guys are awesome. Love you all, and I'll see you super soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.